Welcome. If you've just wrapped your head around Rule 7, figuring out if you're on a collision course, now it's time for Rule 8, what to actually do about it. This is where theory meets practice. Rule 8 is all about taking action that's obvious, early, and effective. Think of it like driving. If a car drifts into your lane, you don't just nudge over, you make your intentions clear. At sea, confusion can be deadly, so your actions must leave no doubt. In this video, we'll break down Rule 8 in plain language, show you what positive action really means, and help you avoid the mistakes that lead to collisions. Start with what Rule 8 actually says. It's divided into 6 parts, each spelling out how to avoid collisions at sea. The core message: any action you take must be positive, made in ample time, and with good seamanship. Your course or speed changes must be obvious to others, and you should avoid a series of small, uncertain moves. If you have enough sea room, altering course is usually best, but if you need to, slow down or stop. And if you're a vessel that must not impede others, you have extra responsibilities. We'll break down each part in detail next. Section of Rule 8 gives you 3 fundamental principles. Your action must be positive, made in ample time, and with good seamanship. Positive means decisive and clear, no half-hearted maneuvers. Ample time means acting early, not waiting until you're in a close quarters situation. Good seamanship means your action shouldn't create new problems, like turning toward another vessel or a hazard. These 3 ideas are the backbone of collision avoidance. If you remember nothing else, remember to act clearly, early, and safely. But what does positive really mean? It's not just any action, it's one that's decisive and unmistakable. For example, altering course by 30-60 degrees or reducing speed substantially. Small, timid changes like a 2-degree turn don't count. The other vessel needs to know exactly what you're doing. If your action is vague, you risk confusion and even collision. Always make your intentions obvious. Think of it as making a bold move, not a hesitant shuffle. Timing is everything. Ample time means you act long before things get tight. Ships move fast at 20 knots, you cover a mile every 3 minutes. If you wait until you're close, you'll need extreme maneuvers and might not have enough room. The golden rule: a moderate alteration made early is better than a drastic one made late. As soon as you detect risk, act. Don't wait for certainty. If in doubt, move early. Seamanship means your action solves the problem without creating new ones. Don't avoid one vessel by steering into another or toward hazards like rocks or shallow water. Consider all vessels, navigational dangers, your ship's abilities, and the weather. Sometimes you'll need to combine course and speed changes. Always assess the whole picture before acting. Good seamanship is about safety in every respect, not just for you but for everyone around. Section B says your action must be big enough to be obvious. Small incremental changes are dangerous, they're hard to spot on radar or visually, and they confuse other vessels. Instead, make one large, clear alteration. For course changes, 30-60 degrees is typical. For speed, reduce by 30-50% if needed. The goal is to make your intentions unmistakable so everyone knows what's happening. Succession of small alterations, like turning 5 degrees at a time, doesn't work. It's hard for others to notice, it looks like you're just wandering, and it doesn't solve the problem quickly. Worse, it makes others unsure if you've even seen them, which can lead to both vessels taking conflicting actions. The better approach is one decisive move that's easy to interpret and effective. Section C says that if you have enough sea room, altering course is usually better than changing speed. A course change is immediate, visible, and predictable. Speed changes take longer to have an effect and are harder for others to notice. However, in restricted waters or complex situations, you might need to reduce speed as well. The key is to make your action substantial and obvious. Sometimes, altering course isn't enough or isn't possible. That's when you reduce speed or stop. This is especially important in restricted waters, close quarters, or when you need more time to assess the situation. Slowing down or stopping is not a sign of weakness, it's smart seamanship. It gives you time to think and lets others see you're taking action. Section D reminds you that taking action isn't the end, you must keep checking if it's working. Monitor bearings, CPA, closest point of approach, and the other vessel's movements. If your action isn't effective, take further steps. Don't relax until the other vessel is passed and clear. Continuous monitoring is essential because situations can change quickly at sea. After you've taken action, use all available tools to check if you're passing at a safe distance. Take regular bearings, check radar and ARPA, and visually observe the other vessel. If the CPA isn't increasing or the other vessel alters course, be ready to act again. Only relax when you're sure the risk is gone. This habit keeps you and everyone else safe. Section E covers situations where slowing or stopping is the best move. If you can't avoid collision by course change alone, or if you need more time to assess, reduce speed or stop completely. This is especially important in fog, crowded waters, or emergencies. Slowing down buys you time and shows others you're taking the situation seriously. Reduce speed, lower your engine RPM significantly, or if sailing, reduce sail area. If you need to stop, use your engines or even drop anchor in an emergency. Keep monitoring the situation, your vessel will still drift with wind or current. Remember, stopping is often the safest choice when things get complicated or uncertain. Section F introduces a special rule: some vessels must not impede the passage of others. For example, small boats or sailing vessels must not block large ships in narrow channels or traffic lanes. If you're the not to impede vessel, you must take early action to give the other vessel plenty of room. This obligation applies even if a collision risk develops, you can't claim right of way. If you're required not to impede, act early before you get close or create a risk. For example, if you're a small boat near a channel, stay well clear before the big ship arrives. Don't try to squeeze in or cross ahead. Early, clear action prevents confusion and keeps everyone safe. Even if you find yourself on a collision course as a not-to-impede vessel, your obligation doesn't go away. You must still give way and follow all the other rules. You can't claim right of way just because the situation changed. This ensures that safety always comes first, no matter how the encounter develops. The vessel whose passage is not to be impeded still has to follow all the rules. They must keep a lookout, determine if risk exists, and take action if needed. No one gets a free pass, everyone is responsible for avoiding collisions. This mutual responsibility is key to safety at sea. Rule 8 doesn't stand alone. It works with Rules 5, 6, and 7. Keep a lookout, maintain safe speed, and assess risk. Then Rule 8 tells you how to act. Rules 11, 18 tell you what action to take based on the situation, crossing head-on, overtaking, etc. Rule 8 is about the quality and timing of your action, positive, early, and obvious. Rule 17 covers what the stand-on vessel should do if the giveaway vessel doesn't act. If you're stand-on and the other vessel isn't taking proper action, you must eventually act yourself, using Rule 8 principles. That means your action must be positive, early, and obvious. Don't wait until it's too late. Common mistake is making small, timid changes like altering course by 5-10 degrees or slowing just a little. This isn't positive action and isn't obvious to others. The correct approach is a clear, decisive move, a 30-60-degree course change, or a significant speed reduction. Don't be shy, be bold and clear. Another mistake is waiting too long to act. Some students keep plotting and monitoring until vessels are dangerously close. By then, only extreme maneuvers might work. The right approach is to act as soon as you detect risk. Early, moderate action is always safer than a drastic move at the last minute. Some think that making several small course changes is safer. In reality, this is confusing and explicitly discouraged by Rule 8b. It's hard for others to interpret and doesn't solve the problem quickly. Instead, make one large, clear alteration that everyone can see and understand. After taking action, some students stop monitoring the situation. This is risky. Rule 8d requires you to keep checking until the other vessel is passed and clear. Situations can change, so always keep an eye on bearings, CPA, and the other vessel's movements. Stay vigilant until you're sure it's safe. Many focus only on altering course and forget about reducing speed or stopping. Rule 8e says slowing or stopping is sometimes the best option, especially in restricted visibility or complex encounters. Always consider all your options. Sometimes stopping is the smartest move you can make. Avoid solving one problem by creating another. For example, don't steer away from one vessel only to head toward another or into a hazard. Good seamanship means assessing the whole situation and making sure your action is safe in every respect. Always look at the big picture before acting. Imagine your vessel A heading east at 20 knots. You spot vessel B at 6 nautical miles bearing 0-45 degrees and you're the giveaway vessel. The right move? Alter course 40-50 degrees to starboard, act early and monitor the situation until vessel B is passed and clear. Don't make small incremental changes. One big move is safer and clearer. In dense fog, you detect a vessel on radar at 4 nm. The right action is to slow down immediately. Don't rely on radar alone. Reduce speed to bare steerageway, monitor the target, and be ready to stop if necessary. Sound fog signals and keep checking until you're sure it's safe. Never maintain high speed in fog, even with radar. We're in a traffic separation scheme with 3 vessels around, one ahead, one overtaking, and one crossing. Assess all risks, prioritize the most immediate threat, and make a clear, positive move, like altering 30-40 degrees to starboard for the crossing vessel. Make sure your action doesn't put you on a collision course with others. Monitor all vessels until everyone is passed and clear. Early, large actions reduce ambiguity and stress for everyone. When your intentions are clear, the other vessel knows what to expect and you avoid escalation. Acting early gives you more options and keeps you in control. Small, late actions create confusion and can lead to emergencies. The simple truth: bold, early action prevents most collisions. To wrap up, Rule 8 is all about decisiveness. When you detect risk, act positively, early, and obviously. Don't hesitate or make timid moves. The physics of ships means situations develop fast. By the time you're certain, it might be too late. Following Rule 8 gives you confidence and keeps everyone safe. Remember, decisive action is safe action.